Make sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.
The way she ride, the way she rock her body. The way she ride, the way she rock her body. The way she ride, the way she rock her body. The way she ride, the way she rock her body. The way she ride, the way she rock her body. The way she ride, the way she rock her body. The way she ride, the way she rock her body. The way she ride, the way she rock her body. The way she ride, the way she rock her body.
First name winter storm dates. This one is the latest we've had since we've been naming these winter storms. So we look at, storms being named in early October, mid-October, at least by mid-November. But like the map at the mall, you relate to this right now, right? With all the holiday shopping, we are here. And we are out there in kind of uncharted territory, waiting so long for our first named storm of the season. And if I could get things to go, that would, there we go. Sometimes you just have to will it and talk to it. Or, call IT. If you're like me, if you call IT, it starts working immediately. Water vapor imagery showing some of that moisture already across sections of Nevada into Utah and Colorado. We've got that trough setting up, and now the snow translating into parts of the Four Corners region, mid sections of the interior west. We've got rain, much needed, much welcome rain. Not going to be a huge amount of rain here into parts of California, but that rain certainly approaching the Los Angeles area. Welcome rain in some of these communities where we, of course, have been following the drought. That's really been the story of the year. Now, today, that storm system will bring the western rain and the snow before it continues its movement off towards the north and to the east. So we're going to be watching these areas tomorrow across the plains with some of our showers getting into the Midwest, sections of the south, even down towards the Gulf Coast. So where we have the cold air in place, that's where the snow sets up. Moisture heading up from the south, and plenty of warm air will also allow for some rumbles of thunder, and by really later tomorrow, more significant threat of some stronger storms. But the snow, it's a big stretch of widespread snow from the Great Lakes back into portions of the west tomorrow all the way into Saturday. So we're looking at a period of 24 to 48 hours for many areas, and those winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings, and winter storm watches expand 1,900 miles. So we've got a lot of real estate between the Great Lakes and then down into portions of California. So that has allowed us to reach our criteria to name this system. And of course, Atticus is the first on the list. So we'll start in the west, Mike, with, again, some very much needed, much appreciated snow for some of those resorts that have been kind of waiting for it.
We have just been hungry for this for a long time, unfortunately.
And how much snow you might be seeing piling up in some of these areas. We start with the alerts. So the winter storm warnings, the winter weather advisories, and winter storm watches are posted. And again, it's those warnings that allowed us to reach that naming criteria, now working into portions of the middle of the country as well. Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning, you can see we've got the snow across sections of the west. So right now, we've got the snow generally focused into the western U.S., but later today, early Friday, you can see that snow begins to overspread portions of South Dakota, Nebraska, even eastern sections of Wyoming. By the time we get to Friday lunchtime and beyond, through the afternoon, it's snowing in Mason City, Sioux Falls, Minneapolis, and then eventually even into Green Bay. I think just in time for that late day drive, schools to let out. So keep that in mind. Those roads could get slick as we've got that snow falling and a lot of people on them. I think at first, we're going to have the wet roads just because of how many people, but overpasses, bridges, these always are problem spots. Now, Saturday at 6 a.m., it's still snowing in a place like central and northern Wisconsin. Closer to Green Bay and Madison, we may see a little wintry mix set up, so wouldn't be surprised if you actually see a few raindrops mixing in with those snow showers. Snowfall totals 8 to 12 inches. That little stripe from, say, the Sioux Falls area or just east of there up into the UP of Michigan. So those will be the big winners when it comes to the middle part of the country, but plenty of areas in the lavender color, and lavender is about 6 inches. So plenty of spots looking at the possibility of a half foot of snow out of this. 3 to 5 inches, I think, closer for a bet in Sioux City and around south of Mason City. Probably Madison, Wisconsin, you're going to be right around that 1 to 3 inch range. Now, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, best chance of the snow and the most moderate snow, so the highest snowfall rates. Those are going to be coming as we get into Friday afternoon. So lunchtime, or really late morning, lunchtime, and then into the the early afternoon. By the way, those winds will be around 20 to 23 mile-per-hour gusts, so at times blowing the snow around, making it tough to see out there on the roads. A closer look at the Omaha area. I think you're going to end up around 1, maybe 2 inches. You head farther to the north, though, it's Sioux Falls, where I think a ½ foot is a good bet, and then higher amounts into sections of Minnesota. We time things out for you in Minneapolis. It's mid to late morning that the snow really begins to work in, picking up in intensity through the afternoon. So the late day commute tomorrow will be a snowy one. And if you were looking for any weekend getaways, you were heading to the airport MSP, be prepared that, later on Friday could see some slowdowns just with the snow falling. And that snow will stay active into the very early morning hours of Saturday. I think beyond 5 o'clock, flurries at best. So things should be better during the daylight hours of Friday. But by the time all is said and done, Mike, we're looking at 5, 6 inches in downtown Minneapolis. South of town could exceed 8 inches.
All right, Alex, thank you.